These are the Lark M2Ss, and they're the latest wireless microphones to come from Hollyland, and they just dropped today. But are they any good? The design might have you second guessing. The Hollyland M2 was a very popular wireless microphone, and for good reason. It was tiny, great sounding, and a lot of IRL streamers used it for their streams. I used mine a lot for my videos until I upgraded to the DJI Mic Mini. Now, I don't have a price for the M2Ss, but they should be cheaper than the M2s. So let's get into the review. So for the remainder of the video, I will be using the M2Ss for my audio, no noise cancellation, and no editing in post. Hi, Future Moon here. So I don't know what went wrong with the audio in this whole video, but this is what the Hollyland Lark M2S sounds like, unedited and no EQ. So the rest of the video will be EQ'd just to kind of make it sound a little bit better. I didn't have time to refilm the whole video. Sorry. So I have the M2Ss clipped onto my hat here, and that's where they're going to stay for the rest of the video. If you guys are enjoying the content, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out a lot. And if you want to check out the M2Ss or any other products I've checked out on the channel, everything will be linked in the description down below. In the box, you get the charging case with two microphones with an interesting design, and we'll talk about that later. The receiver for your camera and a receiver for your smartphone with a USB-C plug. Unfortunately, for people still using a lightning plug like myself, they don't have a receiver dedicated for that, and you have to use a separate cable. The adapter cable will plug into the camera receiver and then into your phone, which is pretty inconvenient. Everything does feel a little cheap, but I think they're aiming for the M2Ss to be a budget microphone. With them being a budget microphone, they don't have a lot of features like a backup track, internal recording, and 32-bit float. I think the M2Ss are going to be targeted toward the content creators and not the professional filmmakers, which isn't a bad thing because sometimes people just need a good sounding microphone. The receiver only had 3 gain settings, and I think it needed 2 more because sometimes setting 2 was just a little too low and sometimes setting 3 was just too high. But the noise cancellation was actually pretty good, and we'll test that out later. One improvement from the M2s I did like was the windscreens. On the M2s, you had to wrap the whole microphone around with the windscreen, and it was a lot of work. With the M2Ss, you just slide the microphone into the elastic pocket. So much easier and faster. Let's talk more about the microphone design because it's a pretty big change. Most wireless microphones have been using this magnet mount style where you can stick the microphone anywhere. Hollyland switched to this clip style, and I don't know how I feel about it. I like that I don't have to worry about losing a magnet, but you do limit some of the places you can clip it to. Like for an example, if I'm wearing a sweater, I can only have it on my collar. But most situations it should work fine like a shirt or a hat. One of the biggest design flaws that the M2Ss have that I don't even know how it made past production because I think it's a really stupid way of doing it. The clip or lack of a clip on the receiver is now just a post. This would go into your cold shoe mount on your camera or camera cage. It works fine on the cold shoe of your camera because it locks in, but if you have a normal cage like this small rig one, you just can't use it. What do you guys think of the design of the microphone and the receiver? Let me know in the comments. So now we're outside testing the Hollyland Lark M2S in somewhat windy conditions. The wind does kind of pick up here and there. So this is what the audio sounds like in somewhat windy conditions with the noise cancellation off. And this is what the audio sounds like with the noise cancellation on. And to simulate a loud background noise, we're going to be using my drone about 10 feet away just to see if the audio will pick this up. So this is the Lark M2S with noise cancellation on, and my drone about 9 to 10 feet away. You can kind of just see it in the camera over there. And I think the M2S does a little better job than the Mic Mini with the noise cancellation. You can kind of barely hear the drone itself, but you will get a little bit more voice distortion. And this is noise cancellation off. You should be able to hear the drone pretty clearly. So what are your thoughts of the Hollyland Lark M2Ss? In my opinion, if you already own the M2s, it's not really worth the upgrade and you should just stick with the M2s. But if you're looking for a budget microphone and you don't have one, it might be worth check out. Anyways, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. If you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out a lot. And if you guys are interested in checking out the Hollyland Lark M2s, they will be linked in the description down below.